Hi, Dr. Hart. This is Amber Hughes, and this semester for my research topic, excuse how I look, I did modeling, and I really chose modeling because of the course, that I teach at Duncanville High School is partner PE. So we do a lot of modeling through peers and demonstration in order to help the kids get a firmer grasp of what we're trying to do for the game or the exercises or whatever it is that we're trying to achieve for that moment. So that's why I chose modeling. But there's been a lot of research that ties modeling with communication and communication with motor skills. And so I chose 7 articles that focus on those things. And I'm just going to hit some of the things that I went over. I know that before I started getting my doctorate, when I thought of social skills, which is going to make me sound kind of dumb, but when I thought of social skills, I thought of communication, but just kind of like within a game, not social skills as in learning something and rolling it over into your life socially, like using it again and retaining it. So teaching social skills is a vital component of intervention for children with autism. And then one study focused with autistic children and modeling for them to play games like Duck, Duck, Goose and Hokey Pokey. And the hopes for them in learning those games is by watching a video or watching their peers play it successfully, that they will be able to retain it longer and have more recall when it came to using it in the future. So I know in my class we play Duck, Duck, Goose, and the way that we play it is with a long pool noodle. The pool noodle serves as an extra extender. So I'm it, and there's a circle of kids, and I'm saying duck, duck, duck. When I say goose, I tap the kid on the head that I'm choosing. I drop the pool noodle. They pick up the pool noodle, and they're able to use that extension to try to chase and tag in hopes that they would get to tag the person. Whereas if they didn't have that extension, it would be questionable if they would even get close. So we came up with that modification for that. And the other game, Hokey Pokey, I haven't really done that one in class. It's a good idea. I should do it, teach the steps of the Hokey Pokey. And we have done that with the Cha-Cha Slide and the Harlem Shake. So we have certain dances that we do in there that they really like, the Macarena. So we break those down by steps, and they have partners in small groups, and then we do the big dance with everybody all together. But the partners are sort of in the front so they can see how to do it. If they get off step or whatever, they're not self-conscious about what they did or didn't know because they can see what they didn't know. So I thought this was really good because even if you take out the social part of it, emotionally, even the kid with the lowest cognition or the highest cognition, they want to do it correctly. So I really thought that was important to include that article in my research paper. And another article that I thought was really interesting was the one where there was 4 male adults, and they were teaching them skills for living, just living skills. And the skills that they were looking at were how to fill a salt and pepper shaker, how to clean a mirror, how to efficiently use a vacuum cleaner, and how to water plants in the house and fertilize it. And these fellas watched videos on how to do it, and they practiced. And what was interesting about the study the most was that several months later they checked in, maybe 6 months later, I'm not sure, they checked in with them to see what skills they had used. And one admitted that he cleaned the mirror, and another one said that he was trying to get better with the vacuum and he was still using the vacuum cleaner. And another one said that he's not allowed to water or fertilize anything in the house. And they only have, what are they called? Imitation plants. And he definitely could not water or fertilize that. So his mom had banned him, but I thought that was cute. So I liked that they went back and they checked in with the subjects to see how much and how useful the things were that they were tested on or whatever, that they watched their videos on. One of the last ones that I reviewed was simply self-care and spinal cord injuries, and I guess that the modeling that study provided just hit home to me because I'm about to have back surgery, and so it broke down steps of toileting and how to get in and out of a car and how to sit in a chair, and so they go through all these steps and they teach the people that how to do it because a spinal cord injury doesn't go away. What I'm going to be going through, obviously, is I'll be able to recover from it, hopefully, fully and have no complications. But they watched the videos, and one of the things that they said about the videos is that they weren't precise enough. Like when the researchers went back to watch the study before they published the videos, is that they weren't specific enough. And so when you are treating someone that has an injury that you don't want to have injured further, you have to break down into detail and be much more specific than you think that you do, because if you leave something out, they're likely to injure themselves. So another study that I found super interesting was the systematic and qualitative description of upper limb and motor deficit in people with schizophrenia. So what they think is that motor inhibition takes place behaviorally and computationally if you're affected by schizophrenia in terms of being on medicine or not being on medicine. And so they compared the people that were being treated medically to not the ones that weren't, with 15 healthy controls. And so they did a grip force. And so from the onset of grip to when you see you need to let go. And then you would have a marker in another hand. So just because I'm focusing on the right hand doesn't mean that I can let up on the left hand. So they just worked with the grips, and tracking was done on each hand separately, but it ended up proving that both medicated and non-medicated schizophrenia patients showed deficits in grip force error when compared to the healthy control group. And there was no reason to suppose that sensory motor systems are exempt from hypothesized neuromotor development disorder underlying schizophrenia. So it confirmed the study that the grip force control deficits are independent of medication, and the information is being used for further studies for patients who are living with schizophrenia, whether they are on medication or not. So I thought that was also very interesting. And overall, when you talk about schemas and different things within, what's the one thing I wanted to mention? Schemas and 1- and 2-dimensional open loop theory and motor programs. One of the things that I realized is that as a teacher, it's really important to stay in the know. Like, I know that most of my games are 2-dimensional, and I need to work more on fine motor skills, smaller things like tying a shoe or buttoning pants. And even though you might think that's a health-related thing that they would do in another class, when some of my students go to the bathroom, they have to have a partner escort, and it would behoove them if I and the parents could help them learn to do that themselves, so that they're not embarrassed by having to have someone do it for them. So those are things I know I need to work on as a teacher. And as far as the open and closed loop theory goes, that's not something I was really familiar with, and I'm not sure if, I don't remember that in the kinesiology program at UTA. Not to say that we didn't study it, but I just didn't remember it. So that was eye-opening to me, and that took me back on how to structure games and how to do things so that it's in their best interest so that they can be more successful. So thank you for another great class. I know I look terrible. I'm awaiting a procedure on Wednesday, and thank you for working with me. And I hope you and your dogs and your kids have a Merry Christmas. Love ya.